We have some great news coming out of the White House. Reuters explains President Obama shortened the prison sentences of 111 convicts serving time for drug-related offenses in his second round of clemency grants this month. Obama has now granted a total of 673 commutations during his presidency, more than the number granted by the 10 previous presidents combined, as he seeks to reform the criminal justice system. So they go on to explain that the way that this round worked is that some people, it's not like they're being released immediately. Some people, it's just that they got their sentences cut in half. Now, again, we're talking about nonviolent drug offenders here. He knows all the details of the cases. I don't know all the details of the cases. So, maybe he has a reason for saying, well, these people, I'll just cut their sentences in half as opposed to releasing them. But as a general rule, like I've told you guys from the beginning, if it was me in there, I would basically use all the authority I had to release all the nonviolent drug offenders that I could. Not only would I release the ones in federal prisons, which obviously he has the authority to do, but I would also try to twist arms to make the states release the nonviolent drug offenders that they held. So he doesn't have the ability to say, okay, I'm going to commute a sentence or pardon somebody if they're held in state prisons. But what you can say is, that's interesting. I see you have quite a few nonviolent drug offenders in there. Wouldn't it be weird if I cut your funding? And then what happens? The governors go, whoa. Okay, we can work something out here, dog. Let's sit down. Let's have a conversation. You wanna maybe cut their sentences a little bit, or do this or do that, and then you get it accomplished that way. But look, the disagreements I have here are just around the edges, because the reality is he deserves a hell of a lot of credit for what he's doing, and I've now concluded he gets it. On this issue, and this isn't to say it applies to other issues, but on this specific issue, President Obama gets it. And, I guess he feels like, and there is pressure in this direction too, if you think about it. Maybe the first black president doesn't want to be the one who has to, release all the nonviolent drug offenders, because then what's going to happen? I mean, all the Republicans would say this either way, but they're going to go, the black guy, fucking people who do drugs, of course. You know how they are, So, perhaps he's hesitant in some ways, and he was earlier on because of that, which is understandable. But like I said, it now looks like he gets it. And if anything, the releasing of them, like in increments, might be a way to try to make it so that the news cycles don't he released all the criminals, go crazy. Because that would happen, and it's probably still happening. I bet if you go to WorldNet Daily or Daily Caller or any of these other insane right-wing websites, they're like, Obama releases thugs and criminals, and the crime rate is going to spike. Now, again, I'm sure they'd leave out the details. These are nonviolent drug offenders, and they shouldn't fucking be in there in the first place. But I've concluded now that I think President Obama gets it, because he keeps doing it. It's one round after another round after another round, and then you go, he got it. I think he got it. So he's going to do as much as he possibly can. Now, maybe he's not going to go as far as I would go, like I said, where I would try to twist arms at the state level. But at the federal level, I'm now convinced he's working behind the scenes to do as much as he can. And that might mean even trying to put pressure on the DEA or the FDA or whatever agencies he has to try to get the scheduling of marijuana changed. I think he's using his prosecutorial discretion with this stuff and trying to, make it so that the federal government does not go after the individual states that have decided, okay, we're going to legalize weed. So this is good. This is a good sign, and you have to call it for what it is. Second-term Obama has been significantly better than first-term Obama, whether you're talking about this or the Cuba deal or the Iran deal or the immigration executive order or the overtime rules. So he's done a lot of things that deserve our credit. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm still going to attack him when he's wrong, and he's wrong quite a bit. I mean, he's expanded the NSA that restricts civil liberties even more. He hasn't yet, keyword, drawn a line in the sand on Guantanamo Bay and said, no, I'm not going to let this continue. The drone war kills 90% civilians. He's done interventions in 7 different countries. And yes, in some respects, he's been kind of a sellout to Wall Street, just like all the other presidents, when he let some provisions slide by in bills that he signed. So don't get me wrong here. It's not all good. It's not all bad, but you have to be objective and fair. And on this particular issue, it appears like he gets it and he's doing the right thing. And what I'm here to tell Obama is, dude, don't stop. I mean, if you really want, because I know presidents, they're narcissistic, obviously, and it's a difficult job. And okay, you want your name in the history books. Well, obviously, it's already there. But if you want to have, just glowing, fawning praise of you, well, one thing you could do is be the guy who says, I'm done with this nonsense. I mean, think about how crazy it is. This is why some people call it the new Jim Crow, that we lock up nonviolent drug offenders, and obviously it's disproportionately people of color. What you're doing is the functional equivalent of taking somebody who drinks a Corona or has a glass of whiskey and locking them up. I mean, you would if somebody did that right now, we'd go, oh, this is like the biggest restriction of freedom and liberty I've ever seen. This is a police state authoritarian government. That's insane. They're just tweaking their consciousness. They're getting drunk a little bit. So what? They're blowing off some steam. Who gives a shit? So we say that about that, but then all of a sudden, woo, don't tell me, oh, are you taking some illegal pills? Are you smoking some weed? Is that cocaine? What are you doing over there? Is that some sort of opiate? No, well, now I'm going to lock you up and throw away the key. Oh, well, that's just so stupid. And then also, this breeds hatred against cops because cops have to enforce these stupid laws. And so they're an occupying force in many different communities. And, you've given them a green light to basically do unconstitutional searches and seizures that violate the Fourth Amendment. And then they lock people up for just having a little bit of drugs on them. That's fucking crazy. If you get rid of that aspect of policing and you only have the police get involved when there's a violent crime happening, people would love the police. They go, oh yeah, those guys who show up when there's a fucking assault or there's a murder or there's a rape and they save the day, yeah, oh yeah, I hate them. It'd be super hard to hate the cops if you took away the fuel that is the drug war. Because the drug war makes it that they're going to harass you and they're going to try to, okay, what do you have? You have weed on you? Okay, well now I got to lock you up. If they were just fucking there to prevent the worst of the worst crimes, everybody would be like, oh, the cops, awesome. So again, and that's just a whole other aspect to the story that we don't need to get into, but credit to President Obama for what he's doing. And my message to him is continue. Don't let anybody stop you. All the advisors who are going to give you the bullshit Democratic strategist talking points of, well, no, you want to be a little careful because it's an election year and you want to appear to be centrist and moderate. Tell them to fuck right off. They don't know what they're talking about. If you listen to them, it hurts you. It doesn't help you.